Yo, what's up guys? It's Talon. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to invade and when to invade in the jungle. So in this first scenario that we end up going into, I'm actually spotted on the vision here, and for this reason the Nunu knows she can go on my blue buff. So for this reason I actually want to show you guys kind of a time where I get invaded, and it works out very well for them. So the Nunu, again, she invades because she has vision of me. Additionally, she has a faster clear speed than me, meaning that she's going to be able to get there much faster than me and clear it faster than I would be able to get to her. But because of this, I respond by invading her blue side. However, they do have vision, which I swept out, so they know I'm here, and because of that, their laners end up coming. I did have enough lane priority where I was not scared of dying there, because my laners were relatively close, so I knew if I got spotted there, I would have my flash, my E to get out if I wanted, but I'd also probably have my laners there to protect me and wouldn't need to waste it. So when you get invaded, a good thing again is to counter invade, but only counter invade when you know you have a way out. So I had my E and my flash up, so it was okay. And then what this Nunu did is really what I want you guys to take note of from this clip. And what Nunu did is, again, she spotted me on vision and she knows I have a slow clear speed, so for this reason she can easily just sneak a blue buff. So if you guys have a faster clear speed than your jungler that you're against, if you're into like a Camille or other slow clears, this is a great time to be looking for an invade, but make sure you sweep so you know if they have vision of you, so that you're not just risking it for no reason. And then the last important thing from this clip is that Nunu had lane priority in the top side of the map, meaning that her laners were pushed up further than mine, so they would be able to come and help her first. So for that reason, there were a lot of just factors present which made Nunu able to gank there, so hopefully you guys can learn from that. Okay guys, so back in this same game, I'm going to show you another example of invading a bit later on. So important things to keep in mind are the ways you have out once again. So as Camille, I can be a bit greedy with invades because I have my third ability, my ultimate, my flash, everything's up. So I know I can be a bit greedy. Nunu gets distracted, which is a great time for me to just go and check her buff really quickly and just sneak it while she doesn't even realize that I'm there. A lot of times they're not going to have vision on their blue buff by this point in the game, so you can sometimes try to sneak these types of plays while they get distracted in other parts of the map ganking or anything. So just using distractions, again, like that Nunu ganking there, to just quickly steal a quick camp is actually very valuable, guys, because if you think about it this way, you get about, I don't actually know the exact number, but 150 to 200 something gold from a blue buff. And not only are you gaining that 150, let's say 200 gold by invading, but you're denying 200 gold. So you're gaining 200 gold and denying 200 gold. That's essentially a 400 gold swing, which is extremely valuable. So anytime that I'm able to look for some type of steal like that, I definitely will. Okay guys, so once again in this scenario, I end up knowing that we can't get this dragon because two of my teammates are dead, and so this fight is already lost. And instead of just trying to go for the 50-50 steal, I realized that I can just continue to farm safely in this game by just taking their jungle while they're distracted. So I tried to take even more, but they ended up noticing that I was there. I'm playing against a really good player, their support in this game. I think their support's Dienzio in this game. So he knows like that I'm going to be doing this, so he does a good job of stopping me from getting more. But I do end up taking one camp from them just because I know that we're not going to get the dragon, and I just continue to focus on farming up and getting myself ahead. Now, it's not always going to be beneficial to do this, guys. You don't want to give up dragons when you're already down a dragon or two, but because typically if you're already down a dragon and then they get a second dragon or a third dragon, that's going to lead to them getting way more value, because getting 2 or 3 dragons can be very detrimental because it gives the bonuses stack. But since we already had the first dragon here, I was okay with giving up that dragon rather than risking my life and potentially losing a lot of my own jungle after dying. So instead, I decided to go quickly take one of their jungle camps and then just go back down and farm my own jungle. Okay guys, so another important thing to look at when deciding to invade is the location of the enemy jungler, of course. And so in this situation, the Mundo ends up showing on the top side of the map, meaning I know I have access to their jungle. And so instead of going for this kill that might work, again, I'm getting the same gold value from this blue buff because it's giving me 200 gold plus denying 200 gold. And that kill is still going to be there for me later if I want to go get it oftentimes. So I'm guaranteeing myself the gold by invading this and using the Mundo being distracted to end up invading and taking his jungle camps. And then I'm also at the same time denying him that gold, and then I'm still in the position to gank afterwards if the Aatrox ended up staying alive there. Okay guys, and one of my favorite things and favorite times to invade is after we take the opposite objective as them. So if we take the Herald, then I'll end up invading the top side. If we take the Dragon, I'll end up invading the bottom side. And the reason for this is because oftentimes the enemy jungler is on the opposite side of the map. So if I see that the enemy jungler just took the dragon or just took the herald, I know that they're probably going to be there for a bit longer, and then I can steal things just like I do here. So you're going to see here I steal his red buff, and then I end up going to steal his Krugs, but I see a gank opportunity, so instead I go for the gank, and then we end up, I think, getting this kill, I hope. And so yeah, we end up getting the kill, and we end up getting the red buff from him, and I can even probably go take his Krug since I just killed his laner. He's not going to have anyone to protect his camps. And then you're going to see here, I end up getting him to waste his ultimate. He gets distracted. I have a way out, so I'm perfectly safe here. He even flashes for me, and then I do end up dying, but he dies in exchange, so it's like it works out perfectly fine. We get a kill, we get a camp, and then he dies as well, so wasting his time. So overall, just if you take one objective and you know they're on the opposite objective, you, instead of trying to get two objectives, which is usually hard, there are situations where you can do it, and you know, there are situations where you definitely can go for both objectives at the same, or like go for one and then go for the other right after. But if you think that they're already on it and that they're already gonna pretty much kill it, or you think you'll lose the fight if you do go there, it's much more beneficial to you to, again, just take the enemy jungle camps on that side of the map that you just took the objective on, because oftentimes that they will be up just like you saw here, and it'll even allow you again to go for a gank just like I did on that Ornn. And then once again, after I killed that Ornn, the Olaf tries to 1v1 me, but he can't because my laner's there, his laner's not there, and even though he does get the kill on me, it's still beneficial to us in the long run. Okay guys, so this next scenario is actually going to be ending up going for a 1v1 while invading their jungle. And so the reason that I want to invade in this situation is because they have an Evelynn, and Fiora destroys Evelynn in the early game 1v1s. So if I find her on my blue buff, or on her blue buff, I will try to fight her once she comes to scuttle, for the simple reason that I have lane priority in the bot lane and I win this 1v1 anyway. So you see here I forced out her flash, and my karma's already there because I noticed I had lane priority, so I knew I'd be safe to go for this. And then after this, you're going to see she ends up trying to come back and go. I expect her to go farm onto her you know, camps, and so I run straight to there. She has no flash now since I just forced it out. I end up blocking her charm and then getting the first blood onto her, all because I know that my early game is much stronger than hers, and I have lane priority. And for these two reasons, alongside the fact that she's low from farming, I end up looking onto her blue buff just to see if I can get a smite or something, and then she ends up being right there coming for the scuttle, so we just get an easy flash out of her, and then she greeds for her camps there, meaning that we end up getting the kill on her later on. Okay guys, so here's another example of an early game invade. In this situation, we end up going for the scuttle, and I see their jungler, which is Gragas, going towards the top side of the map. I have the lane priority once again with my Lulu following me. She ends up helping me out getting these steals on the on the jungle camps, and just basically allows me to easily clear these quickly. And not only does this make me able to take some of his camps, but it also allows me to go for an easy gank afterwards because I'm already in the area, so they won't really be expecting a gank because they don't know that I'm here, because I know they have no vision because I cleared out the vision of the control ward earlier on. And then so here we're going to end up seeing, you know, again, I'm not on the area, so I'm just able to go for an easy fight. My Lulu ends up getting caught out here, but we do get ourselves a kill. Not only do we get a kill, but we get two of his camps and just end up getting very far ahead from this. Okay guys, so first I'm just going to show you this whole fight because I think it's kind of cool, but what I really want you guys to know about this is after you win fights is another great opportunity to invade. So after we end up winning this fight, it was really crazy, by the way. Like there's so much going on. I'm getting charmed, everything. I'm getting a Kayle ult on me, Lulu is ulting, we're getting buffed up, like there's 3 people on me, I have Gargoyle, and we just somehow survive here. We end up getting low and having to run away though, and it looks like a lost fight here. But the Gragas is kind of low. I end up trying to go for the steal here, as you guys are going to see in a minute. I noticed that the thing's pretty low, so I end up using W flash and then going onto the Gragas, trying to kill him, but I'm not able to kill him. And then I have to smite for health, and then we end up getting it, and we just team wipe them. But anyways, enough of that. So what I really want you guys to note from here is it's very important to take the enemy jungle camps after winning a fight. We just killed 4 of them, so there's basically no way that anyone could stop me from taking his entire jungle, which is usually going to be up because people aren't super concerned with farming right before an objective. So his entire jungle is up. I end up taking it, and notice the order I take it in. I go to the wolves first, and the reason for that is because they're the closest to their base, meaning it's the easiest for them to get back to. So notice how they're just respawning right now, and had I taken this in reverse order, I would have been on the wolves right now, basically, and it would have been more likely that they're able to potentially catch me out. But instead, I take it in that order after winning the fight once again, because if they're all dead, they can't stop me, you know, there's nothing they can do about it. So not only do I get their camps, now I get to go clear my entire jungle because they can't invade me, obviously, because my entire team's alive, we're stronger, we just won the fight. So this is a really great way of snowballing your lead. Even if your team ends up taking towers or other things after winning a fight, it's perfectly fine as a jungler, especially a carry jungler, to end up just taking the enemy jungle after winning a fight. Okay guys, so this next invade is going to be similar to many of the others. I see the Volibear ganking on the bottom side of the map, so I go to check if his camps are up on the top side since he's not there, and I don't have many camps to farm on my own anyways. But what I really want you guys to kind of notice here is I know that he started red side and I started red side. What does that mean? My red buff, my Krugs, my Raptors, they're all up. So I have knowledge that most likely his are also up. Since mine were just spawning, his must just be spawning since we started clearing them at the same time. So this is a really good way of understanding when the jungle camps will be up of the opponent. Just kind of if they did the same type of clear as you can expect the camps to be up at a similar time that yours are up at. And if they did the opposite clear of you, so they started blue side, you started red side, then you can of course infer that whenever their blue buff is up, your red buff is up, and vice versa. And of course you have to know where they started to do this, and some easy ways to know where they started is when the first time that you get vision of them, just look at which buff they have. If they only have one buff, if they only have blue buff or red buff, you'll know they probably started on that side of the map. Of course, if they have both, you won't always be able to know 100%, but it's a good bet to think that most people start red side because it is much more common for someone to start red side. Of course, there's exceptions, there's other champions, or if you just want to change up your pathing to be somewhere else, you might start blue side. But a general good rule is to think that they might be on the red side start if you don't know any better. Okay guys, so now I'm just going to kind of reiterate some of the points and also show you guys this invade where I'm just invading because I have the lane priority everywhere, and I might as well just go check if some of his camps are up before the dragon. But basically the main things to keep track of when you are deciding to invade is, do you have lane priority or not? I have a video on lane priority if you're interested in what exactly that is, but basically it means your laners are pushed up or not. If your laners are pushed up and have the more minions, it means they'll be more likely to be able to come help you. Additionally, understanding the jungler location. So is the jungler on your side of the map or is he on the opposite side? Obviously, if he's on the opposite side, you have much less danger. Do you have ways to escape yourself? Do you have your flash up? Do you have some type of dash? Are you a champion like Camille who has a lot of mobility? Are you an immobile champion? Keep track of the enemy clear speeds. So again, a champion like Camille is going to be easier to invade because she has a slow clear speed, so she won't be able to clear her camps as fast if you're like a Kha'Zix or some champion that's really good at clearing. And just using any type of distraction. So if they gank somewhere, they might not expect it. Make sure you use sweeper when you're trying to invade so you understand if they can see you or not, because if they can't see you, they're probably not going to expect it. And just use any type of distraction. And if you win fights, that's another great time to invade, because of course if you're winning the fight, then they're all dead, they can't stop you from invading. So those are kind of like the main things to keep in mind with invading, and then understanding the enemy jungle pathing to know what camps are and aren't up. Don't mind that int, by the way, on your screen. But anyways, yeah, just keep in mind which camps are up based on the pathing that they did. So if you know that they started red side and you started red side, when your red side's up, their red side will usually be up, and vice versa. So yeah, those are some of the main kind of things that I wanted to reiterate just with this clip here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Honestly, like, again, I just kind of want to talk a little more about invading in terms of the best time to invade on champions is when you are a carry champion. Typically it's going to be more valuable than if you're like a ganking jungler or like a tank, because carry champions really value gold, so getting a gold lead on your opponents is going to be very valuable. Think about it kind of similar to other lane matchups, where if you're, say, a Malphite in top lane, your goal is to help your team out and just CC people, right? So you'll give up some gold to help your teammates out. But if you're a Fiora or a Jax, you might want to end up split pushing to get yourself some extra gold and then help out in team fights later, or continue to split push. So it's a similar concept in jungle, where when you're playing a carry jungler, like Camille is a champ with great damage, for example, Kha'Zix is a champ like that. Any of these types of champs who really need good, like a lot of gold to do a lot of damage and really need to farm up and carry in the late game, they're going to be those champions that you're going to want to end up invading more often on and be looking for these windows and these opportunities. But sometimes it'll be better if you're playing a Rammus or a Nunu, to use these similar opportunities when the enemy is on their camps, based on when you know their camps are up, or when the enemy is ganking on the opposite side of the map, to take that as an opportunity to gank a different part of the map rather than invading. So keeping in mind the different types of champions that are better with invading. Of course, invading is good on all junglers when you have escapability, when you have these different factors that I talked about in the video available, because you're still denying the gold from the enemy jungler as well. So it's going to be useful even if you are playing one of those tanks, for sure. But just generally, it is more useful on these carries. And that's kind of the playstyle I have in jungle, is playing a lot of carries. I've been playing Camille's and Zhao, Jace, Fiora in the jungle. So for those reasons, I've been utilizing invading a lot. If you guys watch my streams, you probably like are surprised at how much I'm invading people. I'm really not scared of these people like you know, stopping me from invading them, because all of these things are in my mind about, do they have vision of it, do I have lane priority, all those things. So if you guys are able to just kind of keep those things in your mind as well, you can be confident that you're not going to die even going for these invades. And at the same time, guys, you're going to die sometimes going for these invades, and that's good because you can learn from it. You can then, after you die from the invade, think about why you died. Was it because the invade was bad? Did you play the fight bad? Did you not have lane priority? Was the jungler somewhere else? Did you not know where he pathed or how he pathed? All these different types of things you can think about and learn from based on whether or not the invades work out. So even if they don't always work out, going for these, if you're playing this carry type of style, is going to be valuable. And then lastly, I do just want to acknowledge, objectives are typically more valuable. So if there's only a dragon spawning, don't try to invade your opponent and give up the dragon if you don't have to. Some situations, again, like the one I showed earlier, where we're already going to lose the fight no matter what, are good opportunities. But I want you to make it very clear, I don't want you guys invading 24/7. You do not want to invade when these factors aren't present. You don't want to invade when you could be getting an objective instead, because those are more valuable. So just understanding the opportunities that you have when you can invade and can't invade is very important. So anyways, now guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I kind of ramble in these outros. That's kind of what I've been liking with the style of the videos, just give you guys my thoughts at the outro, and the other parts are really the informational parts. So I do hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.